This is not a toy, it's an industrial robot. It's a robotic platform, and I'll show you that later with the rails, that you can attach pretty much any third-party payload to do the mission that you need to do. The mission in this case was for a robotic platform to autonomously walk between quarantine zones, set up in locations to where the camera, the focal length of the camera was predetermined, and do distance temperature screening from afar, so where an individual did not have to do this face-to-face. We were able to procure the technology and get it here, and it's been very successful in its implementation. And I can also tell you that one of the other challenges we had was that, and the public might not know this, is when an individual was COVID positive in our post site, there's a process, a step that needs to happen. We had to do a lengthy interview to get them into temporary quarantine and isolation. This involves sitting down with someone and actually doing an interview within the CDC guidelines, because if you're protecting the privacy of an individual, you can't stand 30 feet away and yell at them and say, oh, what's your food allergy? You can't do it. So this is where the robot could facilitate the interview from afar, and we could actually do this T-Quick interview, get someone through the CARES line into services, because there's no other way for an unsheltered individual to get off our post site into services unless you do this lengthy interview. Before we had Spot, we were doing it person to person. So I had numerous officers that went out on 14-day time-based quarantine, civilian staff, and we also had people in the site that they were afraid of the interaction. So the innovative solution was, let's remove the human element. Let's remove it on the post site. Let's facilitate this interview without having a person-to-person interaction. Since we've got the Spot, there has not been a single officer that had to go face-to-face with a COVID positive person in the site. And I can tell you that I know that the procurement took a while, but at the height of the pandemic, when we were unknown about vaccines, this was started when there was no knowledge of vaccine. 100 people were taken care of. And it was to solve a high volume solution. So we helped about 1,200 people last year. 1,200 unsheltered people came through our post site, came through our Honolulu Post, and they were received services, and we navigated over half of those into more permanent options, including reunifications of the mainland with family.